Thank you very much. The floor is now open. Go ahead, please.
Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. You spoke yesterday about going immediately home and getting the treatment, and because it was a physically and emotionally stressful game for you. How are you feeling right now, and do you feel like the quick turnaround is an advantage for you to get back on the court, or kind of a disadvantage because you need a little more rest?
Before I answer your question, I just want to send my condolences out to Ty Harris and his family. Someone that meant a lot to our league, and I worked with him for so many years, and that's very sad and dramatic. What happened, and get an opportunity to know his wife and his son and his daughter, seeing them all for the last few years. Every time we played Brooklyn, I seen them in the tunnel taking pictures with their family. Just always been kind to me, and when I heard the news, because I haven't been on social media for quite a while now. I didn't even know it happened until, when we did the moment of silence yesterday before the game, and that was let you know that this game is unbelievable, but there's also things much bigger than that. So my prayers for my family sent up to his family. To answer your question. I've been around the clock, getting my body ready for tomorrow, get my mind ready once again. And is it an advantage? I don't know if it's an advantage, after this series, after this postseason games I've played in. But, I'll be ready to go tomorrow once the game get here.
And just one quick follow-up. Obviously, you guys played a lot better in Game 3. Now that you had a little bit of time, what did you see out there on the court that is working for you guys, and that you think you could bring and carry over to Game 4 to make sure you can complete out and get that game?
Well, I feel like if we come in with the same energy, same effort, physicality, as we did in Game 3, we give ourselves a good chance to win. Now, does that result in a win? It's to see, because we played well in Game 3 and they was able to get that one as well. So, it's just about us playing the same way, being a little bit better down the stretch, obviously. But like I said last night, we had I just watched the film. We had some pretty good looks that just didn't go down, and they had some looks that went down for them. So, obviously we know it's a big challenge, but we look forward to the matchup again.
Brian, middle in the back.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. LeBron, having changed teams a couple times and knowing, how hard it can be, how long it can take for it all to come together, can you appreciate for Kevin maybe how fortunate maybe he is that it looks like he found a situation for him where it just blends perfectly right, and maybe it can be quicker, he can find that fulfillment easier? Well,
first of all, with all the success that he's gotten throughout his career, I've always been proud of him and always excited to see him grow as a player. I don't think that our careers are the same as far as changing teams. Their team was already kind of put together, and you just implement a guy that's ready to sacrifice, a great talent, a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to help the team win. But that team, they knew what they were about, and he just had to come in and just do what he had to do, and that's what he's been doing. For me, when I left here to go to Miami, we had to build something. We brought in, 8 or 9 guys, and we had to build something. And when I came back here, we built something again. But I can definitely appreciate the simple fact of him either reshaping his game or just sacrificing maybe some shots here, sacrificing having the ball in his hands, all the time. But it works for their team, and who wouldn't want to sacrifice playing on a Golden State team or a San Antonio team or a Cleveland team when the ultimate result can actually compete for a championship?
Joe on the left side.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. LeBron, we know that you don't put too much importance on almost any one game, outside of a Game 7, obviously. But with getting one tomorrow, how important would that be for you, whether it be to stop history, to avoid a sweep, whatever the case?
Well, my mindset is to try to get every game. And tomorrow is another important opportunity for us and for myself, obviously, to continue the series. It's been a long season, and you hate for it to end this way. So, I mentally and physically got to prepare myself for that.
Michael, right next to him. Joe.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. LeBron, you touched on this a little bit last night, but even before this series, you were kind of knew this was going to be a tough one. Having played these guys now 3 games, is the challenge is it different than you anticipated? What have you learned about the Golden State?
Well, you knew they was resilient. For one, I watched a lot of film on them, and I knew it's going to be one of the toughest challenges I've had. Just because of the firepower they had, because of the mindset that they was going to have, and they're a hungry group, and you can sense that. And you've seen that throughout the postseason. You've seen it for the first 3 games of the finals, and they have so much talent. A ton of talent. So, and they work well together. It's not one guy on that team that's selfishly looking for himself and not, for the team. And when you combine talent, you can combine unselfishness, and then you can combine guys that play hard. That's going to result in some really good things. And and I sense that from not only watching the film before the series started, and also now playing the series.
Thank you.
Let's go to Chris in the middle row 3.
Chris Haynes, ESPN. Bron, after watching film now, that possession where after KD hit the 3, were you comfortable with that? Is that what you guys were looking for? It seemed like a lot of time was wasted in that possession.
Well, after KD hit the 3, I think that's when Kyrie missed the jumper, right? Kyrie had it going, as far as the one-on-one matchup, and he's an exceptional one-on-one player. We take it. He was pretty down about the shot attempt that he got, but listen, like I said, it's a Mr. Make league, and he left everything on the floor. He did everything he could, and obviously when you miss the shot, you always gonna say, well, we could have got a better possession, but we live with that. We live with our star point guard taking a shot that he's capable of making. He just missed it, and that was the result of it.
Dave on the left side, row 4.
David Grenneman, ESPN. LeBron, the plus-minus numbers last night with you on the court versus off the court were reflective of some of the numbers we saw throughout the regular season, and also reflective of the team's record when you playing a game or versus not playing a game. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, you missed some time, and the Cavs were able to stem the tide. What can be done moving forward to empower this team to be able to perform at a consistent level when you're taking a break or from a game or from a brief rest in a game?
I don't know. I don't know the question, the answer to that, Dave, right now. Obviously, I hate the fact that we're not able to just try to keep the leads, and if I come out the game, or not even keep the leads, just sustain it. And I hate it for my teammates. I hate it for myself. I hate it for everybody that's involved. And, last night it was another one of those instances. I came out with 143, I believe, in the first quarter. We up 30, I think it was up 31-29, and then, they went on a quick 10-0 run. It was 39, 31, 32 after they reviewed the 3 that added another point. And, and against a team like this, those type of runs you just can't afford. And like you're saying, throughout the course of the regular season or throughout the course of the postseason, we just got to find better ways to, as a collective unit, having the right pieces out on the floor, or the guys that's on the floor, they have to do their job and try to do it at a higher level, no matter who's out on the floor. So something we have to figure out.
Tom on the left side behind Dave.
Tom Withers, AP. Sorry, Bron, they asked me to stand up for this. 10 years ago, you began your finals run against a team that was in the midst of a dynasty. Now you're up against a team that looks like it's built to last. Does that change the challenge? Does that fuel you? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's just part of my calling to just go against teams that's in the midst of a dynasty. And, this has been the best team in our league the last 3 years. And they won a championship, and last year it was the greatest regular season team we had played. It was probably one of the best postseason teams that everybody has ever seen as well. We were just able to overcome that, and they're playing like one of the best teams once again. So, like I said, there's been times throughout my career where I've just played teams that was just in the midst of something that can last for a long time, and obviously this team is built, to be able to do that with the talent that they have. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen, but as it stands right now, they look pretty good as far as the future.
And I know you don't like to look too far down the road, but as well as you're playing and as good as you're feeling, have you kind of recalibrated how long you want to stay around?
I don't know. I mean, I feel good. I actually feel better.
You're no stranger to criticism, right? There are some people that feel that with 50 seconds left in the game, you guys up 2, they'd like to see you kind of force more in those moments to try to score that basket yourself as opposed to dishing it away. I'm just curious to know what your message to those critics would be.
I don't know if you've been here for the last couple of years or heard me talk. I don't even really care. I had 101 drives last night. I didn't have 101, but you get the gist of it. Sorry, I didn't go for 102. So, but at the end of the day, I don't really get in. What is a critic? It doesn't matter. One of my favorite quotes when I really stopped caring about what people say is Theodore Roosevelt, "The man in the arena." So if you can read that, you'll see where I'm at right now in my life. It doesn't matter to me.
If you could have the play over again, would you still make that same pass?
If I could have the play over again, I would come off a 3-screen situation. Draymond would switch on me with 5 fouls. I would get him leaning. I would drive left. I would see KD step up. I would see Steph Curry drop on Kevin, and I would see Kyle Korver in the corner to one of the greatest three-point shooters in this league history and give him an opportunity in the short corner. I would do the same exact thing.
Final question to Ken on the left side midway.
Ken Berger with The Athletic. LeBron, to your earlier point about KD, when you changed teams and went to Miami, it was a different time. In order to get a player of your caliber or Kevin's caliber, you had to pretty much clear the decks and start over. Now you have a situation where a team is able to be a championship team already and add a player of Kevin's caliber. Is that good or bad for the league, in your opinion? And for a guy who pours his heart and soul into this, is it fair?
I mean, it's part of the rules. I mean, the difference between my situation is, the best thing with Golden State situation is a lot of their guys are drafted. They drafted a lot of their guys. They drafted, 3 of their best players were already drafted, so they're able to hold on to them because they own their bird rights, if everybody knows the CBA, so they able to keep Steph, Clay, and Draymond. And able to go out and sign someone else, like they did this past summer by just getting rid of a couple pieces in Harrison Barnes and, not re-signing Barbosa and Bogut and, guys from last year's team. So allowed them to go do that. In my case, going to Miami, we had to clear a lot of space because they didn't have anybody as far as, guys that they wanted to keep as far as bird rights besides UD and D Wade. They had the opportunity to go get 2 of us, and they did that in me and Bosh, and then we was able to finagle a way to get Mike Miller because some of us took pay cuts and got some other guys. We had Rio because he was drafted, but it was a different situation, totally different. But is it fair? I don't care. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, it's great for our league. I mean, right now, look at our TV ratings. Look at the money our league is pouring in. I mean, guys are loving the game. Our fans love the game. I mean, who am I to say if it's fair or not? I mean, no matter who am I going against, if I'm going against, 4 Hall of Famers, like I said before the series started with Draymond, Clay, Steph, and KD, or if I'm going against 2 or whatever the case may be, I'm always excited to play the game, and I'm not one to judge or say if it's fair or not if guys are adding, players to their team. So, I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean, is it fair that the New York Yankees in the 90s was adding piece after piece after piece after piece? I mean, if you have the opportunity to do that, is it fair that the Cowboys added Deion Sanders? I mean, listen, it happens. It's sports. You can have an opportunity to sign one of the best players. and you can do it, go ahead and do it. Why not? If I become an owner, I'm going to try to sign everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, LeBron.